this trade that just happened for Russell Wilson, you know, fam, look me in the eyes right here, fam. You know the price is going to be through the effing roof. All right, here we are. Bang, bang. Here we go. Back for a live session of Gen Sports Corner. It's been a minute, but I'm back at you. New room, new office. We got quite a few things to talk about today, don't we? It's been a crazy day in the NFL. Yesterday, Aaron Rodgers getting the big 4-year, $200 million contract, $153 million guaranteed. Shortly after they franchise tagged Devontae Adams for 1 year, he's going to be making $20.145 million, all guaranteed in 2022, if he decides to sign his tender and play on a 1-year deal. But man, look, that Aaron Rodgers deal, $153 million guaranteed, $50 million average per year. Biggest contract in NFL history. Let's just think about that 4 year. Aaron Donald, the deal that he signed, we thought that was huge. We thought the deal that Peyton Manning got a few years ago was huge. This deal that Aaron Rodgers got is unprecedented for football. It's going to change the landscape on how these guys get paid in the next 2, 3, 4 years, especially the quarterbacks. So, you got to wonder what's going to happen with some of these guys. And then just today, you have the big trade with Russell Wilson going to the Broncos. Actually, it was last night, excuse me. Russell Wilson going to the Broncos. And the Broncos got quite a haul in this trade. Let me go ahead and bring up my notes here. Bring up the notes. The Seattle Seahawks traded Russell Wilson to the Broncos for a 2022 fourth-round pick goes to the Broncos in exchange for Drew Lock, Noah Fant, Shelby Harris, a 2022 first-round pick, 2023 first-round pick, a 2022 second-round pick, and a 2022 fifth-round pick, and a 2023 second-round pick. Damn, that's a lot. I almost lost track of the picks as I was saying them. But that is the price, the cost of business when you're trying to fulfill the most important position in football. And the Broncos hadn't had a quarterback of this caliber since Peyton Manning, who I just mentioned, back in 2013-14. Right? It's been a long time. Hell, Russell Wilson played in the Super Bowl against Peyton Manning. So he knows exactly what the Broncos quarterback situation was then compared to what it's been over the past 5-6 years. So they gave up all that to get a Russell Wilson. Will it be worth it ultimately? Maybe, maybe not. We'll find out. They certainly have the wide receiving core for it to make sense for them. And this is the end of an era in Seattle. It also means that the Eagles will not be trading for Russell Wilson. So a couple options here. Are the Eagles going to, 1, run it back with Jalen Hurts? Are they going to, 2, trade for one of the other guys out there on the market whose name has kind of been falling beyond the radar in Deshaun Watson? I'm telling you, teams are calling the Texans right now. They've been calling them all offseason because it doesn't look as if this case is going to go to litigation. So you have to really ask yourself, what are the dark horse teams they're going to go for Deshaun Watson? And the Eagles are number 1 on my list. Because in the recent press conference, Nick Sirianni was talking up a storm when it comes to Jalen Hurts. And Joe Banner, former GM of the Eagles, was actually noting this, I think, in an article he was writing recently, saying that, hey, this is part of the game plan. Talk a guy up, try to build up his trade capital, in the hopes that you'll be able to use him as a bargaining piece to get a guy like a Deshaun Watson. Can you increase that leverage that you have on the asking side? On the bidding side, right? Not on the asking side. You want to try to bring that price down. And this trade that just happened for Russell Wilson, fam, look me in the eyes right here. Fam, you know the price is going to be through the effing roof for Deshaun Watson. Even with everything that's going on, this deal, this trade that happened with Russell Wilson, along with the deal that Aaron Rodgers got, those two things. Look, something to consider, but you know that he's on their radar because I don't know if they really believe in Jalen Hurts. We'll find out. But those were the big things that happened today, and it really just shook up the landscape. You talk about wondering what's going to happen in free agency. How much bigger than that can it get? Two big names rocking the market. So you have free agency coming up for the Eagles, and you have the draft. So big things at the combine. There's this one wide receiver, can't remember his name, 6'3", 6'4", ran a 4.28. You know he's going to be on everybody's radars now, right? You're talking about Randy Moss measurables. You haven't seen those measurables since 1998. So he's going to be on people's radars. The Eagles' biggest needs, edge rusher. Brandon Graham coming off of that injury, that leg injury. I think it was an Achilles injury. I believe so. Josh Sweat, he's on the other side. But what are you going to do to bring in fresh blood alongside Brandon Graham at that pass rushing position? There's a guy from Michigan. He's really good. You have two others that are pretty good. One that's going to go in the top 5. You're not going to get him. But there's a few there that the Eagles, if they're smart, they will pick up in that top 10. I mean, that top 10 to 20. And then next, I would go ahead and I would look at getting a veteran wide receiver. Spending a little bit of money, getting a veteran wide receiver, if you can. And then with that second first round pick, I would be going for a linebacker. Nakobe Dean, I believe he's out of Georgia. And if you didn't see the college football championship game, both of those defenses were flying. Roll Tide, Alabama, they were flying. Georgia, they were flying. Nakobe Dean, he's a real one. Sideline to sideline, 3-down linebacker. If you can get him on your team, it will solve a lot of the Eagles' earthly ills. I'm telling you. If there's any time to draft a linebacker in the first round for the first time since 1979, this year is it. You got talent. I mean, everybody and their moms can see that Nakobe Dean and I believe the other guy, he might be from Georgia. Correct me if I'm wrong, but there's two out there. There's two out there that are going to be there waiting for the Eagles to pick up. They got to pick up one. So that's two of your first round picks. And then with that third first round pick, me personally, you're either drafting a cornerback to go across from Darius Slay, or they might package that in a deal for a guy like Deshaun Watson. That's the way I see it playing out. If I was holding these cards, that's the way I'd be reading my hand. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. But a lot of really interesting stuff happening. And then lastly, I want to go ahead and, before I get to the Sixers, because there's a big game coming up, because you know who is coming back to town, right? Is he going to play? Is he isn't? We don't know. But before I get to that, let's give our thoughts out to the people over in Eastern Europe right now, Ukraine and Russia, the whole situation that's going on over there. People are losing their lives. The Children's Hospital got bombed by the Russians today. So, prayers out to the children, man. It's getting really nasty. And I'm tying boxing into this because two of my favorite fighters, Alexander Usyk, who just won the titles away from Anthony Joshua last year, as well as Vasyl Lomachenko, who just had a big win against Kami last winter, this winter actually. And he actually was set to face George Kambosos for three of the 4 belts at 135. Now, both of those guys, along with, I believe it might have been Vladimir Klitschko, one of the Klitschko brothers, they are fighting for the Ukrainian Defense Force. So Usyk and Lomachenko both gave up money, fame, status, opportunity to go back to Ukraine to fight for their country. And I want to send my well wishes out to them. Hope they're staying safe. Hopefully this situation ends out peacefully sooner than later, and they don't have to turn into a situation like a Pat Tillman, where he went over to fight overseas and didn't get to come back, not only to play for the Cardinals, but to come back and see his family because he lost his life over there. So hopefully they're able to come back safe and sound, and we see them continue their great boxing careers. All these, especially with boxing, it's been polarizing when it comes to politics. You can look at Muhammad Ali, and he caught so much heat and flack for not wanting to go over and fight Nam for a cause he didn't believe in. And then on the flip side, Lomachenko and Usyk and the Klitschko brothers, they're fighting for a cause in their home country that they do believe in, right? So neither is wrong in that situation. You hope that all parties are safe and able to continue their careers in their respective capacities. So just send your thoughts out to them. I am, because they're not just great boxers, but they're great people from what I've seen from the outside looking in. So that being said, let's move on. Last and not least, to one Mr. Ben Simmons coming back to Philly, to the Wells Fargo Center on the 10th, tomorrow. Trust me, I had the date in my mind already. I'm getting my eye test tomorrow. I'm getting my prescription glasses. I'm getting everything checked out because I want to see with my two eyes what this man is going to do tomorrow. Is he going to play tomorrow? Is he going to be standing on the court? Is he going to look his former teammates in the eyes? Is he going to look the fans in the eyes? Is he going to have fear in his eyes? Because there's reports that there's been an increased security presence getting ready for this game tomorrow. And we know that man don't want to play here. That man's afraid. But sooner or later, he's going to have to play us. The Nets play the Sixers multiple times a year, not just this year, but next year. So is he just going to put it off indefinitely? You know the narrative was that, oh, the Philly fans, they didn't like him and they were so mean to him and they didn't treat him right, and poor Ben. And now he's up there barely dribbling the basketball, barely shooting shots in practice, and they're getting a little taste of what we were just seeing. You're smiling and high-fiving in practice and on the sidelines of some of these games, but you're not playing, right? And then there's word on the street. I was just reading an article that said that Ben Simmons, their camp is potentially getting ready to file a grievance against the Sixers. And the Sixers are preparing for this. That's why they've been radio silent when it comes to Ben Simmons. They don't want anything to be held up against them in the court of law. But they're preparing for that. And you have to know that he's filing a grievance in hopes to recoup some of that, well, all of that fine money that was taken away from him sitting out. And let's not forget, let's not have revisionist history here. Wasn't he the one that refused to cooperate with their team doctors when they offered him help for possible mental health issues? Whatever he had that he was going through, they offered him the resources that he needed, and he refused it. So it wasn't the Sixers that didn't reach out to him to want to help him. It's not the Sixers that refused him resources. It's not Doc Rivers that didn't reach out to him, and then when he did reach out to him, he refused his phone calls. No. They did everything under the sun to accommodate this young man, and he did whatever he wanted to do. So no, don't come back now. The first time they took money from you, they gave it back. But the second time, they're like, oh, no. You want to play these games? No. You're a grown man. You want to act a certain way. I'm not saying that I wish ill upon him, but for every action, there's a consequence, either good or bad. Good consequences or bad consequences. But there are consequences nonetheless. You have to be accountable for your actions. And this man just lacks accountability, at least in that aspect of his life. And we're going to find out if he's accountable on the court as well. Do you want to be good or do you want to be great? Do you want to be a leader or you just want to be a role player who's a very good passer and a great defender, but an obvious liability on the offensive end? What do you want to be, Ben? Figure it out. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. I will be posting this up. And I just find it hard to fathom. And it takes a lot for me not to like somebody, but he's gotten up into that JD Drew category where I wouldn't do it, but I'm just prefacing, please do not throw anything at this man. Don't throw anything on the court at the game tomorrow at the Wells Fargo Center. We don't need that. We don't need that bad press. But do let him know how you feel, man. What do you expect? Do you think that any of the fans at LSU when he was in college, or any of the fans that were coming to his AAU basketball games or Pee Wee basketball games would be happy if he was on the court not shooting the basketball, which is almost one of the most important things to do in the sport of basketball? You think any of those fans would have been happy? Do you think the Nets fans are going to be happy if he doesn't at least attempt to shoot the basketball in his time up there in New York? They're making him shoot the ball in practice. He thought he was going to go up there and not have to practice on that part of his game. Did he think he was just going to go up there and just sit down until he was ready to play and then just come out? No, they said, no, you pick up the basketball, get in front of the basketball net, and start practicing your shot, your form. You're not going to sit down and do nothing while you're getting your mind together. Food for thought, things to think about. Anyways, questions, comments, concerns, leave them below. I will be talking about the game post game tomorrow. We're going to see what happens. Ben Simmons coming back to town. I'm interested. Are you? Let me know. Thank you for tuning in and be safe. Till next time, talk to y'all. Peace.